It's not about the First Amendment. It's about what is science and what is not.
I don't have an issue with what you do in the church, but I'm going to be up in your face if you're going to knock on my science classroom and tell me that I got to teach what you're teaching in your Sunday school, because that's when we're going to fight. And I'm going to tell you something. To the editor, people cited violation of the First Amendment when a New Jersey school teacher asserted that evolution and the Big Bang are not scientific and that Noah's Ark carried dinosaurs. The case is not about the need to separate church and state. It's about the need to separate ignorant, scientifically illiterate people from the ranks of teachers.
My read of concerns within the religious community, it is vastly more concerned about our near identical relationship with the chimpanzee than it is about whatever we say about the Big Bang.
80% have panels that look like this. There is no 13th floor. Not only was that true in 80% of the buildings in New York, it's true of this hotel. So what does it say for our future when we have people afraid of a number? What does that mean? I don't know, but it scares the hell out of me.
What concerns me now is, even if you're as brilliant as Newton, you reach a point where you start basking in the majesty of God, and then your discovery stops. It just stops. You're kind of no good anymore for advancing that frontier, waiting for somebody else to come behind you who doesn't have God on the brain, and who says, that's a really cool problem, I want to solve it. They come in and solve it. What's this going on between our legs, right? As you've heard, you've heard it. It's like an entertainment complex in the middle of a sewage system. No engineer would design that at all. Regardless of what our political agenda is, all you have to say is, science is a philosophy of discovery, intelligent design is a philosophy of ignorance. That's all. I don't need to see whether, have you discovered anything lately? If not, get out of the science classroom. But I'm not going to say, don't teach this, because it's real, it happened. So I don't want people to sweep it under the rug, because if you do, you're neglecting something fundamental that's going on in people's minds when they confront things they don't understand. Religion is becoming sort of the enemy of science, or science the enemy of religion, and that's only because religious forces are trying to put religious writings in the science classroom. Now, there's no tradition of the science professor knocking down the door of the Sunday school telling the preacher to put science in what goes on in the Sunday school class. There's no tradition of that. There's no scientists picketing outside of churches saying, you know, equal time for Darwin. That doesn't happen. Funding for science under Republican administrations has been historically higher than under Democrats. Knowing this, and knowing that innovations in science and technology are the engines of economic growth, as they have been since the Industrial Revolution, I knew, above all else, there is a truth that no Republican wants to die poor. Therefore, if you start bringing things that are not science into a science classroom, you undermine the science curriculum, preventing America from being leaders in science evermore. And then you end up dying poor. It's not about the First Amendment. It's about what is science and what is not.